Hmm. So now we are learning mutual funds. And in mutual funds, before last session, we learned about what is equity, what is actually the meaning of mutual fund. Then we learned about the structure of mutual fund, how actually mutual fund as a product is designed. And we saw it is a trust structure, and there is three layers of security. Us, because this is a public money where it goes, and in the mutual fund, and actually I feel this is uh, the best innovation of this century. So where you can pool any amount of investment, be it 500 crore, any amount you can invest. You can invest not just one single stock, you can invest in multiple stocks, multiple types of assets through just one product. You can invest international equities, you can invest in gold, you can invest in silver, you can invest in any type of business. You can choose the large companies, you can choose the mid companies, the smaller companies, anything. And the best part is, because of the regulation, because of the trust structure, even if one company goes down, even if the AMC in which you are investing the money, even if that company shuts down, still your money is safe. Your money is not attached to any advisor, any particular company. This is a trust, and trust structure is as such, the money is with the people. So and at any point in time, anything happens to any one channel also in the whole mutual fund, still your money is safe. So this is the most transparent, most regulated financial product in the whole world. And here you will find the best experts who chooses, who does the investing on behalf of the investor. And all it comes with a certain fees. And to be true, that fees that mutual fund companies charge is the lowest in any financial product out there. So now there are actually so many people. Earlier I was thinking to learn different financial product. Now as I'm learning more, I am really becoming more fascinated about mutual fund. I'm learning more and I feel like, oh wow, like everyone should just invest in mutual fund. You don't need clutter, you don't need multiple things, you don't need PMS, you don't need AIFs. Just one simple product can simplify whole your life, whole your finances beautifully. Having said that, just having some basic understanding of it is required, so that you also build trust. You also know, because even now mutual funds are there, because the product is now famous. Lot of new companies are also coming, lot of new people are coming, and they are also putting out lot of new schemes. So as an investor now, you also need to know, okay, ठीक है, mutual fund sahi hai, it is good, that is fine. But what is good for me? Now there are 40 plus companies, 4,000 plus schemes. So you can't invest in all 4,000 companies. You just need four companies, four funds maximum, or 10 funds maximum. You don't need more than that. But how will you select? How will you know, okay, where should I put my money and how much risky it is? Because risk in mutual fund, risk is not that your money will become zero, but certainly there are certain other risks, because your money is getting invested in stocks, in equity. So whatever the businesses are doing, your money is at particular level of risk. So mutual fund, the risk of getting your money zero, that risk is not there, but definitely the risk of volatility is there. Okay, now you have invested 1 lakh, your money can remain 50,000 at one point in time. When market is down, companies are down because of any situation that is happening. So that risk is there. If you are redeeming your fund that point in time, that is your actual loss. Else it is that loss in the books. If you can wait, if you can sustain, then it will recover in some point in time. So volatility risk is there, and you also need to understand how much risk you can take as an investment investor. And more than that, first when you understand the product, and you also understand your goals, yourself, then you will choose the right product. So today's session is more about creating that basic understanding of mutual funds. So I will also tell little bit again about mutual fund, but the major part is types of mutual fund. Again, now in that only there are 20 categories. So I'm not going that much in detail, but whatever important categories are there, I will be touching upon them. And I also want you to go on money control and see and read about all these and see how they are doing, what is their expense ratio, what is the stocks they are choosing, how they are performing, what is their 5-year CAGR, and all of those things. Once you do it in the next session, it will become easier for you. Next session, we will go little more deeper. So now we will be just looking at the types of mutual fund. Okay, equity hota hai, what is large cap, what is mid cap, what is flexi cap, what is multi cap, what is debt mutual fund, what is hybrid. So today we will be looking at the broader. Next session, we will be going little deeper into the equity mutual funds. So before that, any confusion about anything, we can you can ask, and then we will begin with the session. Okay. So again, there are multiple types. I will be touching upon the broader categories. Equity mutual fund. Equity, when we talk about, it is our investments in stocks. That when we talk about that, you can simply, it's not same as FD, but you can think of an FD. When we talk about debt, it is FD. So for you, it will be easier to remember. It is not exactly as FD, but it gives almost equal return as FD, and it is equally as safe as FD. So no volatility is there. So for equity, you can think of stocks or share or company. For that, you can think of an FD. And hybrid is a category where both the things are mixed. There will be little bit of equity and little bit of debt. So there are different types. So we will be learning all these three categories and little more. I have added little more. If time permits, we will touch upon them also. So how the mutual fund works, it is like, so earlier we see that some sponsor is there, company is there. So once they create that mutual fund, but then how they start working? They collect money from different investors. So someone can put 500, someone will put 5,000, someone will put 50,000, someone will put 5 lakhs, someone will put 5 crores, someone can put 50 crores as well. So when an AMC, let's say one AMC is launching some large cap fund, so they will bring as a NFO, new fund offer. So in that they will ask for the subscription from us. So whoever wants to invest in that scheme, they can invest. So let's say now Chitra, Shweta, Sarita chooses to invest in this scheme. So like that, they pool the money first and then they invest in, let's say it's a large cap fund. So they will invest in the out of top 100 companies shares. And how they invest? Last time we saw that there is a fund manager who chooses where to invest, what is the style, what is the strategy they want to choose. So out of 100, they will choose 20, 30, 40, 50 companies as per their own style, their own strategies. And this is a SEBI regulated product and structure and managed by professionals. So it is not like if someone randomly is managing our money. So because this is a big responsibility, big work, and here most of the qualified जो भी industry के best person हैं, CFAs, CFPs, they are the analyst. कोई any mutual fund house you take, all of them will have their own research team. And in research team, they will be having the CFAs, certified financial analyst, who will analyze the stocks and everything. So on our behalf, they do the work of researching. There will be teams who will be seeing, oh, what is happening in macro environment, what is happening in micro environment. And there will be people who will be studying particular company, what is happening inside Reliance, what is happening inside Axis Bank, how they are going to do. So they will create their own understanding, own research, and it is a ongoing department in every AMC. So they will keep looking because no one person can do. So there is a team who keep on doing it, keep on building on the data. And it is completely managed by professional, completely run by the rules, completely regulated thing. So when you pool your money, all the process happen and then they allocate you the units in form of unit. So they may be buying, let's say 50 companies. Even if you have invested 500 rupees, you will be getting ownership in all the 50 companies. The proportion will be different. If you are investing 50 crore also in the same fund, the proportion will be different. The units, the value will be same. All the stocks, everything will be the same, even for the 500 rupee people or even for the 50 crore rupee people. So it will be the exactly same product, same thing. Exact proportion of the companies will be there. So there will be no difference when you are investing 500. There will be no difference if you are investing 500 crores also in the same scheme. It will be exactly the same. The returns will exactly be the same. Okay, so lower and generally when we do SIP, the minimum amount is 500 And most of the lump sum start from 1,000 rupees. So you can start with the smallest amounts also. And now daily SIP concept is also there. Every day 100 rupees also you can invest through daily SIPs. So the three categories is equity, that is growth focus when you want your money to grow. So let's say we are at a age, let's say 25, 30 year. Now we have some time, we will be working for 10, 20 year and we want our money to grow. We have different financial goals and inflation is also there. And we are looking for the growth. So that time we need to look at the equity mutual fund. We need to look at the businesses. We need to look at the stocks. And when you reach a certain age, or let's say you have accumulated a good amount of money, let's say now you are having 5 crore, 10 crore. Now you don't want to take any risk because equity comes with a risk. Now you are, let's say, 50 years, 60 years, and you don't look for the growth. You just want stability. Or maybe let's say the goal is near term. Let's say now you are planning for your kids' education in after 1 year. You have the money. You can't take risk in the equity because in equity, short term, less than 2, 3 years, do not invest anything in equity. Because in 2, 3 years, anything can happen. You have invested 10 lakh, it may remain 5 lakh also. So better keep the money in secure investment if your goal is very near. And then comes the hybrid. Because all the money, if you are putting in debt, all the money you are putting in equity, for someone it may not be suitable. So hybrid is a balance where there will be certain amount of debt and certain amount of equity. And generally these products we use in when you have accumulated certain amount and you need certain monthly income. So let's say now you are having 1 crore, 5 crore of fund and you want 1 lakh, 2 lakh per month from that fund. So only in debt also you will keep, again, you will not be able to beat the inflation. So some amount you keep in debt, some amount you keep in equities. Through one fund only you can operate all these things. So I will be telling in detail. It is just an overview. So equity mutual fund is they invest in the listed company. So there is nothing like if a company is not listed, no mutual fund in invest in that company. And for listing any company, there is a whole criteria. Not any company can just get listed. So there will be checks, they need to have the audited reports and everything. And then only, and also certain amount of profits and everything, then only they can get listed in the stock exchange. Okay. And then if you can ask, can't they do the frauds and all? Will they all be the right? Nobody can be sure. Anybody can fake the accounts and all the things and can fake everything on the outside is right, but inside could be different. So we can't 100% be sure. But there is certainly a system where there are checks, there are balances. But even having those systems and checks and balance, some of the people find the ways to do the fraud and do some other things, right? So that risk is always there. But with mutual fund, what happens? So if you are, let's just say, let's just investing in one stock, so your whole money is with one company. If that company goes down, your whole money is gone. In mutual fund, there will be 20, 30 companies, 50 companies. Even if one company shuts down, only 3, 4% of your money you will lose. Even if that extreme situation also happens, right? So shutting down is one big example. Even if some fraud comes in one company, just by the news, you will see the stocks goes down by 70, 80, 90%. Even if the allegations are not proved, 40, 50%, it will just go down, go down, go down. So if you're holding that company, it's like you are gone. In mutual fund, because it is diversified product. So in equity mutual fund also, the instrument is shares only. The shares, the companies that are listed on stock exchange. So equity mutual fund invest in shares only, listed company share. Is that clear? That first thing. When we talk about equity mutual fund, it is like you are investing in shares and shares or the stocks indirectly. Yes. So always when equity comes, just think whether it is mutual fund or it is share, your money is going in the businesses, in the stocks. Okay. And how the classification happens, what is large cap, mid cap, multi cap, all these things. So we are not first talking about only equity mutual fund. So I'm talking about equity mutual fund classification. So this classification happens based on the market capitalization. Anybody knows what is market capitalization? So market capitalization is the value on which you can buy the company. So if today you have to buy Reliance, how much you have to pay completely? So market capitalization, if you have to find out, is a formula share price times number of outstanding share. It may look little complex. I'll also show here on screener. So if you see here, all the companies market cap, it will show here. So market cap means it is almost 19,63,358 crore. So if you have to buy Reliance today, you have to pay this much money and you can buy completely the Reliance. So market cap is nothing but the valuation of a company. How much money you will pay to buy this company, or what is the worth of this company. So let's say you have a house. What is the worth of the house? 50 lakh, 50 crore, or whatever it is. Similarly, what is the value of this company? So market cap is the value of a company. So based on like what is the number 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you are having a number, you can categorize. So this is number 1, number 2, based on this value, based on the total valuation of the company. You can categorize. So this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3. So when we talk about top 100, top 150, top 200, it doesn't mean we are talking about company's integrity, ethics, or anything, the management, nothing. We are just talking about the number. What company is the highest value company in our country or in that exchange, whatever is the listed company. And we always talk about the listed company. There could be some company who are valued more, but they are not listed. So we don't talk about unlisted companies. We only talk about the listed companies who are listed. And on that only we do the categorization. And let's say if I search TCS. So that is 10 lakh crore company. If you have to buy completely TCS, you have to pay 10 lakh. So it is just the worth of this company, how much it is worth. So market capitalization clear for everyone. And why it is important to know is because now whenever you talk about mutual fund, it will be always large cap, mid cap, small cap, multi cap. Always that cap will be there. So what is this cap? This cap is just the value of the company. So when we talk about large cap fund, large cap company, it simply means we are talking about the top 100 companies of our country. Top 100 company in the valuation. So that the companies who are valued more are comes in the in the top 100. Like in the class when we get the marks, no, who is the number one, who scores the top mark, who got 100 out of 100, 99. So like that. Similarly, it has nothing to do with their kind of a business, kind of a person who is holding, but simply by their worth, how much valuable the company is. So by that, SEBI categorize it, and the companies also keep changing. If a new company comes, like now Zomato has become come in top 100 company. So if the valuation of a company keeps increasing, it may come. Some companies may go out of the list. Some company may keep on coming. So every day, all this process keep on happening. Not every day, like whenever it happens, so the list will be adding or removing the names. So it is not an everyday, but sometimes it happens in 3 months, 6 months, a year. Okay. So large cap means clear हो गया top 100 companies. हमारी कंट्री की जो टॉप 100 हाईली वैल्यूड कंपनीज हैं और लिस्टेड हैं, दीज आर कॉल्ड लार्ज कैप कंपनीज. ठीक है. जनरली एक और क्राइटेरिया होता है कि कम से कम मार्केट कैप 20,000 करोड़ से ऊपर हो, then only it will be called large cap. Sometimes we also call them blue chip companies. So large cap top, there will be some fund who will call top 100. So top 100, blue chip, large cap, all these are same. So when we talk about only equity, so this is the category that has the least risk. Because these are the top 100 company, these are very big company. There is very less chance that these company will go out of business. Even if you just talk about TCS, it employs 60 lakh employees directly. If a company of this scale has to shut down, something major in economy will happen. So just like this, these companies don't get shut down. So these are the big companies, very stable companies, and actually the pillar of our economy, our country's economy. Almost 60% of the GDP comes from these 100 companies. But the drawback that comes with them is They can't grow as fast as mid cap or the small cap company, because smaller companies are yet to grow a lot more. So these company will grow at 10%, 12%, 15% like that, right? These are stable, less risk is there. But growth also in these company can't happen like 1,000-fold, 100-folds, or just to double. If they have to just double their revenue, like already they are very big. Already some companies 20,000 crore. If it is to become 40,000 crore, it will be difficult. If a company is just 50 crore, it can become 200 crore in 1 year also. Can you understand? So here the risk is less and the returns are also limited. Risk and return both are limited in large cap. Your risk is also less, your returns are also comparatively less with other categories compared to other categories. Because if a small cap 100 crore company has to become 200 crore, it can happen in a day. Similarly, 100 crore company can become 10 crore company quite faster also. If something, one project also goes from it, let's say small cap company, 100 crore valuation, it is dealing with 2-3 customers majorly. Big one customer goes or two big customer goes, or the fund, or like it is a small held company. If someone does something wrong, sorry. So the 100 crore valuation can become 10 crore very easily. So in a small cap, the upside is higher, the downside is also higher. So large cap companies, example, like when we did the equity exercise, I asked you to list down whatever companies are there in Nifty 50 or Sensex. All these are the blue chip company or the top, within the top 100 companies. So you can now do again one research if you have not done it. Just at least read what all companies are there in Nifty 50. What all companies' names are there in top Sensex. Sensex is a top 30 across sectors. It is not only top 30, it is across sectors, whatever, whoever are the leaders. So large cap, you can see Reliance, HDFC, ICICI, Infosys, all these are. And when we have to see in the mutual fund perspective, we have to see like if we are choosing any mutual fund that is large cap, how will you know? So it could be named as top 100 fund. So first name will be the AMC name, the company that is issuing the fund. It could be HDFC, Kotak, Nippon, DSP. There are 40 AMC. So any name can be there in starting. And the suffix will be top 100, blue chip, large cap. So mostly large cap is common, but sometimes some companies will name it top 100 blue chip like that also. So this I have included for the nomenclature so that you don't have the confusion. If you want to note that down, you can note it. Is it clear up till here, till large cap? Anybody has any confusion? Okay. So now the mid cap, similarly, cap is the valuation. So after 100 company, next 150 companies are called mid cap. So minimum criteria for them to be fitting into mid cap is 5,000 crore to 20,000 crore. But now they have become quite bigger than this number, even the mid caps. So when, let's say now, there are many companies, let's say 500 companies are there within this range. So we will take only top 50 company. So in mid cap, after 100 company, next 150 are called the mid cap companies. Is that clear? Easy? So some names are Trent, Cummins, Dixon, Astral. So all these are mid cap. And when you have to find out the names in mutual fund for these company, you will find again the same HDFC, ICI, AMC name you will find first. And then it will be mid cap opportunity fund, or maximum it will be mid cap fund. But some AMCs will use different terms. So like Nippon India uses like Nippon India Growth Fund. HDFC uses the term mid cap opportunities fund. So they can use little bit different terms. Most of the time with out of 40, 30 companies will use the term mid cap only. But some companies can use different terms as well. Little bit different. Similarly for the small cap. So when we talk about small cap, it doesn't mean it will be very small company, 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore, 5 crore, 10 crore. It also doesn't mean small cap means ranked after 250. So generally the major universe for the small cap companies will be 250 to 500 company. So whatever fund houses are there, 80% of the money, most of the time, it is not like rule based, but generally 80 to 90% of the money they invest in 250 to 500 company. So next 250 companies, top 100 large cap, next 150 mid cap, and you can consider next 250 companies as small cap companies. So when we say small cap, these are also not too small. They are small comparatively, but not too small. Not like Shweta's company, not like Niranjana's. We can be after some time, but not at current level. Okay, so small cap also are like good companies. They are also having 1,000 crore valuation like that. So these are some of the example and how you will find which one is the. So again, the same AMC name will be there, and with the small cap, they generally put only small cap. Nippon India is small cap, ICIC small cap, HDFC small cap, DSP small cap, Bandhan is small cap. So with the AMC name, you will find the small cap name. But similar, like I said, here the risk is more. In large cap, generally you can say how much percentage of return you are getting, that much you consider the risk. So let's say in large cap you are getting 15% return. You can consider it can go down in any year 15% by 15% easily. Mid cap, if you are getting 25% return or 20% return, it can go down in a year by 20%. Something happens. In a small cap, let's say you are earning 50% return in a year. Some years you will earn 50% return as well. And it has the potential in any year, it can go down minus 50% as well. Okay. So some year you will see some funds has given 100%, 200% returns as well. And when we see just the return, oh, like the money can double in a year. Wow, I should choose this fund. So never go by highest return. Have the allocation basis. How much? And also I want like major at least 40-50% part of your equity should be in large cap. You want that stability also in your portfolio. And then when you want more return, you can include mid cap, small cap, and you have to include all those as well. But you need to be sure ke how far your goals are and how much risk can you take. Will you be okay one day if your portfolio shows your 10 lakh has become 5 lakh, right? So all these risk volatility also we need to see. So large, mid, and small, all these three categories are clear. Till now, any question? Because other funds are mix and match. On these three categories are the pure categories. Yes. And actually, when the fund call themselves large cap, mid cap, and small cap, it is mandated by SEBI. It is not like any fund can call themselves large cap and they can invest anywhere. Any fund can call themselves small cap and they can invest anywhere. It is not like that. So it is mandated by SEBI, and there is certain percentage, like 80% they have to invest in large cap if it is a large cap. 20% they can invest in small cap also. So there is some flexibility with the fund houses, 20%, 25%. So you may find some companies, those are small cap, even in large cap. But major portion of your fund will be in large cap, 80%, 90%, like that. If it is a small cap fund, its major portion will be in the small cap. And all these percentages are mandated by SEBI. It should be minimum this much. And maximum will be 100%. So let's say if there is a large cap fund, let's say HDFC large cap fund, it can invest 100% only in top 100 companies. And it also has a flexibility to invest 80% in large cap and 20% somewhere here and there. And that is why we see some fund has given more, some fund has given less. Some fund take more risk, some fund don't take that much risk. So don't go in that part. Just think, okay, if it is a large cap, they are investing in top 100. If it is a mid cap, they are investing in next 150. If it is a small cap, they are investing in next 250. For simplicity perspective, just remember this. So it is mandated by SEBI, not 100%, but most of the time this rule is followed. And classification is also based on this. And now comes the flexi cap and multi cap fund, and these are like beautiful products when you are investing a small amount. So let's say you are investing just 5,000, 10,000, you don't need to go in different fund, because a fund will have already 30, 40, 50 stock. If you are investing a smaller amount and you want different fund, that also doesn't make sense. So flexi cap is a fund that can invest in large cap, mid cap, or small cap, any cap. It has the flexibility. So it can invest 100% in large cap, it can invest 100% in mid cap, it can invest in 100% in small cap. But generally it doesn't happen. Generally they invest up to 60-70% in large cap, and then based on the valuation and their strategy, they invest in mid and small cap. So most of the flexi cap funds will have around 60% of the large cap. But rule basis, if you see, flexi cap fund can invest 0 to 100% in any kind of a cap. They can invest 100% in large cap, they can invest 100% in mid cap, they can invest 100% in small cap as well. But the rule across the industry, the fund manager they are following is 60 to 70% they invest in large cap. So when you are starting any investment, this is a good way to start. Here fund manager has a lot of flexibility. So here the thing that you have to pick is the fund manager. Who is the good fund manager? So if you pick a good fund manager with the flexi cap fund, you are good to go. Because the fund manager has the flexibility where to put your money. What kind of a stock to choose, stocks to choose for you. So a lot of flexibility with that. If you choose the right fund, if you choose the wrong fund manager, then you are in a trouble. Okay. So, and
Yes.
also there,
How
yeah.
to choose a right fund manager?
So
Who's
that you
fund?
have to do the study. You have to read about them. You have to learn their style. Yeah, that is the self study that you have to do.
Fund manager means distributor, you are telling?
No, fund manager is not distributor. Distributor is another person. So let's say I also work as a distributor. So I do not do any task of selecting a fund, picking a stock, investing your money. I do not do anything. This product is already made. Someone has already created that mutual fund. Now there will be two categories of mutual fund. One is direct, one is regular. Direct means now Niranjana wants to invest. She can invest through Paytm, Grow, Zerodha, any platform. She will research, she will see which mutual fund suits her, she will do some study and she will choose. Another way for her is, okay, there is so much confusion, there are so many things, and I need someone to help me to choose the mutual fund. Then you go to the regular mutual fund. So if you are coming through an advisor, it will always be a regular. So what is the difference? The difference comes in the expense ratio. Because there is another person involved, he will charge some fees. So it will be a same product, but it will come with a higher expense ratio. So any mutual fund you buy, it will always have a expense ratio. Let's say you are buying HDFC large cap. Let's say it has the expense ratio of 0.6%. If you are buying through me, it will have an expense ratio of 1.2% or 1.5%. The difference will be the commission I will be earning. And for what all I earn like for doing the research, learning about the fund manager, learning all the categories, being up to date, and also help being with the people, understanding them. And it's not only about understanding the right product, but also understanding the person for whom what product is suitable. There are a lot of products that are good, but let's say now out of 4,000 products, 500 products are really good. But out of the 500, which one is good for Niranjana? Which one is good for Sarita? Which one is good for Chitra? What can help her? And also, as an advisor, the role is and I feel like fund selection is just one part. So, fund selection now also I can tell you many names. So, what happens when you are doing it all you are alone? When market goes down, you feel, oh, have I done any mistake? Is it the right decision? So, your discipline get breaks. Because the emotions, when you really see your money goes down, if you're not having an advisor, 93% of the people quit within 5 years, because every 5 years there will be a cycle in the market is cyclic. 93% of the people quit within 5 years, they don't continue. And in market, if you are not continuing beyond 5 year, 10 year, you are literally not creating any wealth. You may create 550,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 5 lakh, but you can create crores in this market. But for that, you need to stay. You need to stay 10 year, 20 year. It can give you more returns than real estate or any kind of. This is because business you see. only the businesses has the power to grow any extent. The money that you can get in businesses is no match to anything. You are doing a job, you can be sure, okay, I'll get 10%, 20%, I'll do a switch, I'll get 100%. But businesses with different kind of ideas, they can grow to any extent. But it also comes with a risk. There is no security. Businesses can go down, they can make a wrong decision, the policies can shift, something wrong can happen. So there are risks, always risk. But in general, if you see, businesses is only the thing that can multiply your money. But it need time. Any business, let's say now I'm starting a business. Initial year, it will be a struggle. It takes time and effort. Not everyone will be successful, but those who will be consistent, who will be doing the things, how much ever money they can make, it has no limit as such, right? So think of it like that. So it is always for the long term. And I literally say, like, here you can, everyone can create 10 crore, 100 crore, 1000 crore. It is not a magic number. You just need the right strategy, right thing. It is very simple to create wealth in the market, and very difficult because of the emotions, because of overthinking, because of staying the course. The same thing could be very simple, very tough. So in life also, na, in food, you can choose the simple food every day. Same roti, sabji, khichdi, dahi, same thing. But it may feel boring. But your health will be super. But we need different masalas, different thing, everything. Here also in finance, we keep looking for, okay, what is the next best thing? Where can I get the quick? So quick and all, if you see, no, it will not happen. But simply you follow the discipline, simply you choose the right thing, the wealth you are going to get. There is no magic in that. But you need the magic of discipline and consistency and that emotional stability. And I literally feel like, as an advisor, that is my biggest role, not selecting the fund. Selecting the fund, anybody can do. Helping the client in those tough times where they feel, oh, market is not high, what is happening, should I do the investing? Because you see, only 7% of the people, actually in the market, only 3-4% of the people who are investing in mutual fund. Right now we say everyone is talking about mutual fund, we feel like everyone is doing the investment in mutual fund. But if you go by the data, in our whole country, even 4% of the people are also not investing in mutual fund. Out of the 4% people, 93% of the people are not staying beyond 5 years. Can you see who is making the money? And we say generally कि ओ पैसा नहीं बनता है मार्केट में, म्यूचुअल फंड में ठीक है मैंने ट्राई किया, कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. You are not staying. How will you make the money? It's not possible. Most of the people come in the market for making active money. कि चलो स्टॉक ट्रेड कर लिया, यहाँ कर लिया, थोड़ा पैसा बना लिया. So then thoda paisa is thoda paisa. You need to think of the big money for generation wealth. Then when you come, and actually real estate में लोग पैसा क्यों बना पाते हैं? Gold में लोग पैसा क्यों बना पाते हैं? Because when you buy a property, you never think of selling it. If you start buying real estate also, okay, when the price goes up, I'll sell it. You will also never make money in real estate. Real estate we buy for the generation. Oh, for my kid, for my grandkid. So the thought process, it is always about the thought process. When you buying a asset, if you are thinking of long term for the generation, oh, I'll never sell it. There you create the money. The same thought process, if you can bring in stocks and mutual fund, you will create money here. But very few people are able to create that mindset. रियल एस्टेट ऑल्सो वी से, वो दादाजी ने जमीन खरीदा था, ये तो 1000 रुपए का था, करोड़ों का हो गया. सेम थिंग विल हैपन हियर, बट यू हैव टू वेट till your grandkids are there. People here see, okay, मेरे 1 लाख का 5 लाख हो गया, वाओ, बेच देते हैं, 4 लाख रुपए कमा लिया, they brag about it. किसी का 1 लाख का 40,000 हो गया तो दे से, ओ, यहाँ तो सब कुछ लूट जाता है. Nothing is like that. It is very risky. So short term, all the fluctuations will happen. Real estate also, all these things happens. But we wait for generations for it to give us wealth. So here also, if you stay, you don't have to be lucky. You will automatically be lucky. You just need to stay here. So we went out of the topic, but I think that was important.
And that was interesting also.
Yes, literally. And multi-cap, a multi-cap is a fund where there will be large cap, there will be mid cap, there will be small cap. So minimum allocation, because in flexi cap it could be 0 to 100. We are not sure how much will be there. So in multi cap, the SEBI has specified minimum 25% has to be in large cap, minimum 25% has to be in mid cap, minimum 25% has to be in small cap. So 75% allocation is fixed. Rest 25% is on the fund manager. They can do 50% in large cap, they can do 50% in mid cap, they can do 50% in small cap. Or they can do 35% in large cap, 35% in mid cap, anything. Rest 25% they can play. 75% is fixed. So here you are, as an investor, you are having the more clarity. Oh, my money will be okay, at least 25% in large cap, 25% in mid cap, 25% in small cap. Rest 25% fund manager is making the decision. So these categories look same but are not the same. Any confusion in that? So for now, I have covered only this much, and I want you to go and research at least one fund house. You take HDFC, ICICI, the name that you are familiar. You can take Nippon, DSP, any fund name you take, and then search within the category. You can actually open a money control site. Or you can directly, let's say, type. Let's say you type Kotak large cap. So by default on Google, you are typing. Now Grow is adding, you will see Grow. But in Grow, you will only see the direct. I want you to go to the money control. Open this. So here you can see direct and regular. So like this, it will show. So here it will shows the return, rank, everything. So you can see the category average. So 1 week is this. You see 1 year average return is 8%, 2 year 9%, 3 year 15. On an average, if you see 10-year return, it is 13 or 13-14% return you will make in large cap funds. So it's an average. So some fund may give you lesser, some fund may give you higher than this. On an average, around 14% you receive in large cap. And if you have to see other funds, you can, there will be, so here only you can here see the expense ratio and everything. You can see, oh, they are managing 11,000 crore. The expense ratio is 1.7%. And what will you see? So you can see that it's a large growth. The style is this. If you have to see the portfolio, they invest 97% is in equity, 2.8% they have hold in the cash. And they here, if you see the details, come down. Here you see the holdings. So here in the holdings, you will be seeing, if you go on the view all, so here you will get to know exactly what stock they are holding by what percentage. So if you can see here, HDFC Bank, they are having, it is 7.6%. Okay. Matlab 850 crore rupees they have invested in HDFC Bank. So upper one is the value. This Kotak large cap mutual fund is 11,000 crore. So out of that 850 crore they have invested in HDFC. So I don't want you to see first value. It will be very misleading. Just see the percentage. It will be 100%, right? So HDFC Bank, they have invested 7.6%. ICICI Bank, they have invested 6.9%. Reliance, they have invested 6.8%. L&T, they have invested. So here you will get exactly how much, which all companies they are. You can see it's like almost 40-50 companies they are holding. Can you see stock holdings? All the names? And you can see the percentage also, right? And also they will also, here also 1 month holding change. From here you can say which company they have invested more, which company they have reduced. So SBI they have reduced, L&T, they have increased the holding. So like that also all the data will come. So they have become very bullish in Bajaj Finserv. 16% more from the Bajaj Finance perspective, not from the whole AMC. So let's say earlier they may be having 200 crore, now they are having 300. So 100 crore more they have invested in Bajaj Finance. So like that you will get to know. So you can get to know all the companies, Tata Steel, Kotak Mahindra, Bharat Petroleum. So when you are buying Kotak large cap, you are buying all these companies in this proportion. So whatever is the percentage, in this proportion you are buying. So let's say you are putting 1,000 rupees or 1,000 crore rupees, the percentage will be this. Kotak Mahindra Bank will be this much percentage. Reliance will be this much percentage. Bharat Electronics will be this much percentage. So percentage will be the same even for the 1,000 rupees investor or 1,000 crore rupee investor. In this proportion, you will get your money. Is it clear? So like that, you can go and search. And also there are peers. So peers means Kotak large cap is there. ICICI Prudential large cap is there. SBI large cap is there. Just go and see. You will get to know different names, different AMC's name. You will get to know the returns. Oh, 3 year like this. Here now it's not. Here you go 10 years. So 10 years also you will get to know, okay, Nippon has given this much, ICICI has given this much. So even if you see here, you can see mostly it is 13 to 15% is return, right? Here it is holding. Here you will get to know about who is the fund manager. Here you will find the name. You can search about this person, how much qualification he has, what he has done. So if you have to do the research, you just go, you copy, and you search about this person. So this is the person. Go on the LinkedIn. You will get to know, okay, he has been graduated from IIM, how much experience. So you can even see his full profile. All these things are just available for you to see. Who is managing your money? What is they are doing? Even you can watch their videos. Their videos will also be available. From there, you can pick what this guy speaks. So how you will know about someone, how they speak, how about their work, they keep on writing. So you follow them and you see how much experience they have. So he has worked with JP Morgan, and then he has worked with Axis Bank. So can you see how much experience? 4 plus 14 plus 2 plus 2. This much experience this guy is having. Right? So I'm just telling you, whenever you have to do, so there is a lot of things that we need to see. Who is the person who is managing my money? So all these things. And now you can see all other fund, how many more funds are there. So if I just click on the mid cap, so here you will see the returns will be more than the large cap. Here again, you can say they are managing 60,000 crores. Expense ratio is 1.38. And this is, I think, regular fund. In direct, I'll show you how much it is in direct. So direct, it is 0.38%. If you are buying direct, it is 0.38%. If you are buying regular, it is 1.3. So kind of 1% you are paying to the advisor. So in that, there is so much transparency. No one can tell you lie. You can just go and check how much they are taking from you, right? So the distributor may say, I'm not earning anything. You can check how much they are getting, right? And many times we have the doubt or how much they are earning. You cannot yourself go and check, right? And so again here, if you say, it will show the category average. 1 year is this, 2 year is this, 3 year is this, 4, 5, 7, 10 year is 17. So when we saw the large cap, it was coming 13%. Now when we see the mid cap, it is coming around 17%. Right? So mid cap, more risk, more return. And here also you can see the portfolio. Again, when you go to the portfolio, you can see their holdings. Again, you can go view all. You can see all the names where they have invested. So like that, I want you to do some research, because when you do on your own, you will understand more. And here you can click on the peers. So you can see, okay, this is Kotak mid cap, this is HDFC mid cap, Nippon Mid Cap, and you can click on that fund and you will get the history. From here it is not opening. So like this, you can see other AMCs, how much returns they have given. So 3 years, even if last 1 year has been very bad, still you can see the 3-year overall return. If you have invested 3 years, still you are earning 20-25%, right? So 10 year, if you see, it is like 18, 19, 16, almost 16 to 19% you are getting in 10 year, right? If I do like this, so here riskometer will be there because it is high risky. There is no guarantee that you will get the return. In 1 year, you may also get -20, -30% as well. So that is why risk is high. In debt, risk will be low because there is no risk. Your money is not, your capital is safe. In equity, even your capital is not safe 100%. When market moves, your capital moves. So all these returns looks good, but it is like like this thing. If someone says, so there is a river, you are 5 feet tall, and the river is only 4 feet deep, and the average depth of the river is 4 feet. Are you getting it? So you have to cross a river. You are a person, there is a river, you have to cross the river. Your height is 5 feet, and river's average depth is 4 feet. It is average depth. So somewhere it could be even 10 feet. So if I ask you, can you cross that river? So generally you will say, oh, it's only 4 feet, I can cross it. But it is an average. So average is misleading. Somewhere it will be 2 feet, somewhere it will be -10 feet deep also. If you just cross the river like that, you may end up losing your life. So equity is also like that. Some average you can't see every time. Some year it will be 100%, some year it will be -50, some year it will be +20, some year it will be +5, some year it will be -10, some year it will be -20. So it will go like that. On an average, you will receive 12%, 15%, 17%. But the journey is not very simple. Not it like when we see the number, it looks like, oh, 12%, 15%, very nice. But when really you experience, you just started investing and your money become -20. Oh my God. And for someone, when they start investing, money goes, oh, +50%. Wow. What is the magic? So all these emotions come. Oh, it's very easy. So when you start, it is like mine, 2 feet. Oh, you are feeling, oh, nothing else. River is very easy to cross. But when the depth becomes more, you can't breathe. So similarly, equity, when you are investing, you need to have that mindset of long term, and also not worrying about, oh, what is happening. So that is why knowing the product is important, knowing its nature is important, and calm and a support of advisor is also needed. When you are having a coach, a person you can ask, you can rely on that person. Else alone, and now I feel now you don't need to do everything alone. So like you trust a doctor, even though you know for your son what medicine they will need, you can do the Google. There is all the information now available. Still we choose to go to the doctor, take the medicine. Similarly, in finance also, I feel each one of us need to trust a person. It could be anybody. You need to trust a person and take their support. A lot of time we just want to do everything on our own. Okay, why to pay that person 1%? If you're not paying that 1%, you are even losing more than that. You are just keep waiting, keep delaying, and the cost of delay is too much. So just start, take the help until you are, at least until you are feeling confident. When you feel confident, do it. But I would recommend never ever feel that confident. Even if you are confident, all the top 5% of the people, they always take the help of advisor. They don't feel why I have to pay. They choose to pay. Even the advisors pay to their advisors. Oh, help us. They don't feel, oh, I have to pay. When we are having even little money, we feel like, why should I pay 1%? Why should I pay? Now I know, I will do it. It is not about just knowing. It is about the hand holding. It is about the trust. It is about going that long term when someone is holding you. And in finance and in life, things is like we know many things. But when real challenges comes, when the emotion shows up, we need somebody to tell us. Even with our kids, we know all the things. Still, we need our parenting mentor, coach, or somebody to tell us, oh, this is the right thing to do. And at that point in time, it matters. When everything is going right away, everything is happening, we sometimes know what is the need. But for those times when you can't be sure, when you need the support, because when you are feeling low, you can't go. That point in time, you don't know what to do. So when you are stable, I want each and every one in our country to go to the advisors, take help, ask for the help, because that is the only way to create that peaceful wealth. When we are trying, because in no school, no colleges, I have even done MBA, all the courses, nowhere they teach about personal finance, how to manage your money, how to grow your money. Even in IIMs, they don't teach. Even in IITs, they don't teach. I was so shocked when my sister came and she didn't knew anything about it. I thought, okay, my MBA college was so. IIM people will be nice. So now I'm helping even IITians, IIM people. They even don't know anything. We feel like, oh, MBA karke they know everything. They also don't know anything.
Mostly the theory part and the practical part will be different, right? In college,
Yeah.
they will not teach all those
Yeah,
things.
even theory part is also not there. They just know the
Oh.
terms. Okay, what is equity? But how to do the investment, how to allocate the money, nothing they know. And especially with those people, the thing is, oh, I know something. When you know just something, no, that is more dangerous. Because if you feel, oh, I don't know anything, I can go to the person. When you feel, oh, I am the smarter one, I know something, then it becomes little difficult. But now I don't know, like how somewhere I'm feeling the Gen Z is more smarter. The people, they are coming for the help. So now I'm like dealing with a lot of the people who are graduated from IIM, IITs, and they are more willing to accept the advisor or accept the advice. They are not looking for some shortcut. They are okay. And now I feel so happy by seeing these people